guests. As I see today, we have one guest, special guest, DTM Sudhakar. Special welcome for you. Welcome to our meeting number 263. Before we start our meeting, I need to remind you about a few things. One is our mission statement. Yes, our club has certain purpose. Our mission statement says that we provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which all members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Another thing which I need to remind you is that during our meeting, there are taboo topics. Maybe you like those topics, but during this meeting, we are not talking about sex, religion, and politics. If you want to talk about it, we can discuss it after Toastmaster meeting. Another thing which needs to be mentioned is safety. So if you hear any fire alarm in your building, please first of all take care of yourself using door or shortcut, using your window if you are not living on 10th floor. What else to be reminded? Respect towards the speaker, of course, is important. So if you are not a speaker, please keep your mic muted. With that, please join in welcoming our captain of the ship, Mr. President Toastmaster Muhannad.
Thank you very much, Farida. I'm honored to introduce you to today's meetings. Good morning from Petrofac Toastmaster clubs, or good evening wherever you are in China, Oman, India, wherever you are in Europe or UAE. We are moved as a hybrid club and we are global. This last week there was lots of events. 3 of our fighters, hero, they took the challenge and they went to inter-club debates, and they tried their best, and they have done an amazing work out there as a team, and they could communicate very well there. And they have learned a lot, because all this competition, it's increased stress, and you'll be trained to take decisions under stress. Also, last week, I made a speech for 7 to 10 minutes in front of Petrofac Females Leaders Club, and we invite and we encourage more females to join our club, so in order to have the gender balance. And at the same time, with the help of Sanita, help of Fahim, we could get our advertisement going to our Petrofac communication in order to invite all Petrofac offices globally, so they could join us during the next meetings. And this is where we will have a huge spikes in the number of members. I would like all of you, invite you to please get your education plan ready with VV Education. Plan for the next competition. The next competition will be by end of February, and that will have international speech competition, human speech, table topic, and evaluation speeches. So please plan, practice the speeches which you would like to go in the competition. Feel free to repeat your speeches multiple times, and get the maximum help and support and questions you need from our coaches, club coaches. We are blessed by two coaches to clubs, Toastmaster Diba and Toastmaster Michael Smith. Since there is no guest today, I will skip the Toastmaster introduction. Even a Petrofac, you need to keep in your mind, leaving Petrofac is not a big deal. You can keep your membership, and you can invite your friends who are part of Petrofac alumni to join our Toastmasters and come to us, as long as, because we're not speaking about any job specific things here. Today, we have a Toastmaster who's sparking energetic Toastmaster. This Toastmaster, she's going to speak about inventions, and she's going to look at this invention which helped our life better. Let's give a great applause to Toastmasters, which she gets always grateful and fascinated by all these wonderful inventions which we're surrounding our life and make our life better. Toastmaster Sunita Julius.
Thank you. Okay. Let me share my screen. Please do tell me if this presentation is visible. Is that it visible? Yes.
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
visible.
visible.
Both presentation and me. So okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, everyone. As Mohannad mentioned, thank you so much, Mohannad, for that lovely introduction. We are going to speak about inventions. That's our theme for the day. And what is the meaning of the word invention? Well, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's an invention, any device or process originated after study and experiment. So the key word here is study and experiment. So sometimes there are a lot of experiments before one invention takes place, and we are just so grateful for that person who just kept going on without giving up. What is the purpose of an invention? Well, according to the IPI, which is a Swiss-based organization that are involved in patent, design, and trademark protection, what do they have to say? What's that complicated definition of that purpose? At all. An invention uses technology to solve a specific problem, and we like our problems to be solved. Oh, thank God for so many inventions, especially the AC. Okay, we're not going to talk about the AC right now. Moving on, we're going to talk about the network or the IP camera, okay, or Internet Protocol camera. Now, that's what it looks like. Some of you might have it in your houses. We'll talk about who specifically later. And this was invented by Martin Gren in the year 1996. Okay, and it's a web server with live pictures. Okay, so using the web browser to interface the camera. So using the web browser. So this took 3 years of work. So a lot of, design changes and things that didn't work and things that worked. Finally, they said this is a working prototype and they introduced it. And that was in 1996. Now, this was inspired by the first webcam. Okay, there's a story behind the first webcam, and this story actually relates around a coffee pot. It's quite interesting, isn't it? How a coffee pot and a camera came together. Well, let's see. Now, Dr. Quentin Stafford Fraser and Paul Jardetsky in 1991 invented this. How this came about was they're students in the University of Cambridge, and the coffee machine or the coffee pot with the coffee machine was further down. Now, supposing they're all working late, now you need your coffee if you're doing some late nights, overnight, whatever it is. However, the coffee pot was not located in their own room. Was for all the students. So they had to walk down a corridor and then get to that place and then get their coffee. Now, sometimes when they reached there, the coffee pot was empty. Now, that's not such a huge tragedy because they could have just made themselves a fresh pot of coffee. But no, they thought they will invent a webcam which actually captured images of the coffee pot at different times. So when they wanted to get up and go have a cup of coffee, they will look at the image and see how much coffee is actually there. Is it worth my time going? So if they saw that the coffee pot was, let's say, half full, they'd say, okay, fine, there's enough for a cup of coffee. So they'll get up and go. If they saw the image of the coffee pot at that moment is empty, they don't want to get up and go. So as I was reading, necessity is the mother of all inventions, but laziness is the father. However, the webcam came along, then came the network IP camera. And somebody who uses the network or IP camera are working mothers, actually, even in Petrofac. I know of quite a few mothers or my own colleagues who have very small children, and they might be with their nanny, or sometimes they have to leave the children alone at home. So this camera installed in their house transmits live pictures through the web, and they can monitor their child, and which is very, very useful. So this is one of our inventions. We'll take a look at more later. But before that, we will go ahead and introduce all our role players, starting with TM Prithu Das. Prithu, all yours.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Sunita. A lovely introduction of your webcam. And I will be checking the time for the entire session, and all the speakers, I will be checking their time, what they are taking, what they are not taking. And of course, end of the session, I will be giving my report. As usual, I will be showing, if it is a 5 to 7 minutes speech, I will be showing the green. My background will change to green. At 6 minutes, my background will change to amber. And at 7 minutes, my background will change to red. And there will be a 30 seconds grace period. Everybody knows it about it. That's all. I will giving my report end of this session. Over to Sunita.
Thank you, Prithu. Our next silent role player is one of our club coaches, DTM Michael Smith. He will be our grammarian and our countenance. 2 hats. Please go ahead, DTM Michael. Explain your role.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sunita. My role today is a silent role. As you all know, I'll be counting all the R's, all the slurs, all the babbles, all the unnecessary pauses, etc. If it complements your speech, fantastically. If it doesn't, and it adds onto your speech, I will be marking that out, as well as proper use of the language. So anything to do with grammar, pronunciation, etc. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Michael. Do we have Jatanshu on the call, or is Farida going to be our word master? Satish?
Jatanshu has not joined. So
not joined. Okay, so for our immediate transfer of role, well done, Farida. Okay, she's going to be our word master. Farida, please take us through.
Thank you, Sunita. Yeah, I prepared one word for today's meeting. This word, maybe you know already, but in case if you don't know, I think you must know this word. Because I had experience with this word. I was always confusing it with some different, and that's why I was not able to give proper answer. That's why I want to be sure that you know it. But I want you to guess. Look, I will tell you meaning and you guess what is the word. Stop resisting to an enemy or opponent and submit to their authority. Do you have any ideas, anyone?
Submissive.
Look, stop resisting to an enemy or opponent and submit to their authority.
We have a hand raised. Who's got their hand raised?
Surrender.
Oh, please go ahead.
Correct. This is a word, surrender. And to be honest, I was confusing surrender. I thought it is something like surround. And I was giving answer to surround, but actually it's absolutely different. Surrender, it's something like give up. Yeah, please use this word as much as possible during today's meeting. And let me give you one example of this word. He gave impression of man with a plan, and the plan didn't include surrender or sleep. If anyone else wants to use this word before we go on.
Shall I try?
Yeah, please.
Like all married man, I am surrendered to my wife.
Okay, thank you.
Satish, I hope your wife heard that. It would have made her day.
I wish, but she is in another room.
Okay, thanks, Farida. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And do we have DTM Deepa? Has she joined for the general evaluator, or will it be
Yes,
Mohanad?
she has joined. Welcome,
Yes,
Deepa,
yes.
ma'am. We started at 9:30. I tried to reach you. We could not able to get your
Yes,
phone.
yes, I'm really sorry about that. I will be, as part of the general evaluation role, I will be evaluating the entire proceedings from the time I've joined. I'm really sorry I'll not be able to comment on the president's opening address and SA's call to order. I'll try to cover the entire proceedings of the meeting. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Deepa. It's always nice sometimes when the examiner joins late, you don't get examined and you think you passed with great colors. So welcome to our meeting, and thank you for taking this role. Next, we will just get back to the theme, just a little run through. I'll just share my screen again. Okay. Get the presentation, then share the screen. All right, so we will kick off when we get on. All right, the next invention we are going to look at is the safe passenger elevator. Okay, so what's a safe passenger elevator? Well, there were elevators before it became a safe passenger one. Now, the safe passenger elevator was invented by Elisha Otis in the year 1861. Why safe? Because in the year 1830 and 1840, there were elevators. However, passengers were killed if the hemp rope, or the rope that held the elevator, snapped. So if the rope snapped, the elevator just came crashing down. So what did Elisha do? If you see this picture on the right-hand side, that is actually a picture of Elisha Otis on his experiment at a convention. What he did was he invented a device which could prevent a passenger elevator from falling if the rope broke. So we have a gentleman over there with a knife. So he was supposed to purposely cut that. So he didn't just sinisterly cut that. So he cuts the rope, and we see that Elisha is still on the elevator, not coming crashing down. How does this happen? Well, there's a clamping arrangement that grips the guide rails. If you see like a saw type of structure on the side over here, right? So when this is called an elevator car. This car, the tension is released from here. It does not come crashing down, but actually gets clamped and eventually comes down. So that was the invention which has made life superb for us. So if we are supposing at Petrofac and we're working on the 17th floor, 16th floor, 15th floor, even on the 9th floor, we don't want to be going up and down without a nice elevator to take us up and down. Otherwise, we would go to work in the morning, and the only time we'd come down is at the end of the day. We wouldn't bother if we have to take the stairs that many times, right? So, and what this last line says, previously top floor was the cheapest. Well, before the safe elevator, in an apartment building, the top floor was the cheapest rent. Now, since the safe elevator, because of all the smells, animal smells and things like that in the ground, so the top floor became the most expensive. Okay, so that is a safe passenger elevator. Another one which we are all so grateful for are the cars, whether it's our own cars, whether it's the taxi, so that we can come to work, especially if we are, staying far away and not within a walking distance. The first automobile was, now that might look like an advanced rickshaw, but it is not. It's actually it has a gasoline run engine in that. That was created by Carl Benz in the year 1885 and 1886. Now, this, like I said, runs on gasoline. It was three-wheeled and compact, high speed. I mean, I wonder how fast that high-speed thing went. But anyhow, it was a compact, high-speed, single cylinder. I don't know if we have single cylinder cars still. Maybe we do. And a 4-stroke engine. Now that engine output was 0.75 horsepower. What does that mean? Well, it means something when we relate it to modern day. Modern day E-Class Benz has at least a 4-cylinder. There are higher cylinders with a whopping 255 horsepower. So we are glad Carl Benz came up with the first model, and we're very glad for all the advances since then and the cars that we get to drive or are driven in now to make our life easier. So without further ado, we will go into our next segment, which are our speeches. Here all our members who have selected certain pathways in order to progress from one level to the next level have prepared speeches which they would like to present to us. And firstly, we will start with our evaluator, Fahim Khan, who will be the first evaluator for our first speaker. I'll speak to you about the first speaker after Fahim tells us about the evaluation criteria. Fahim, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunita. Good morning, everyone. Our first speaker is going to deliver a speech from Leadership Development Pathway, Level 2, Project 1, Managing Time. And the purpose of this project is for the member to observe his time management patterns. One caution for the speaker that his speech should not be a report on the content of the managing the time. Time is 5 to 7 minutes, and all the very best to the speaker. Over to you, Sunita.
Toastmaster Jacob John, you'll always find him with a smile. Very, very lovely person, and he was an excellent guide to us when we were preparing for our debate contest as well. His project title is called PMS. PMS, Toastmaster Jacob John, Toastmaster Jacob John, PMS. Over to you, TM Jacob.
I cannot manage time. Yesterday is a cancelled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. Today is cash in hand. This is exactly time. You cannot do anything with yesterday's time, and you cannot plan much on tomorrow's time. What are you going to do on today's time? Fellow Toastmasters and lovely guests, let me take you to a 1.5 months back scenario. My beautiful wife told me, you need to come and pick me up at 1 o'clock. That was a Thursday. My calendar was hectic. There was a client meeting at 10 o'clock. There was another functional assessment at 11 o'clock. And there is another meeting, the new energy services meeting at 12 o'clock. And 2 o'clock I am free, 3 o'clock another functional assessment, 4 o'clock department some meeting, then some small meetings after that. So how I will fit into the necessity of going at 1 o'clock and picking my wife? For those who don't know where my wife is working, she's working in a school 20 minutes away from my home. So how I manage this? That is what I'm going to tell you. The technique I used here is that PMS. That is basically plan, manage, and succeed. I will tell you, it is not time management. You cannot manage time. You can only manage your actions. To manage your actions, you need to categorize your actions. So what are the actions? How the categorization will happen? A general person, a normal person will have three types of actions. One is needs. Needs is nothing but you need to wake up in the morning, you need to go to the washroom, you need to have your breakfast, you need to dress up, you need to have your lunch, dinner, sleep. These all are your needs, the necessities. There is absolutely no compromise on this. This you cannot postpone also. Then next one is, I call it as urgent matters or priorities. Driving to the office or your office normal works, meetings, other important things comes in between. These all are your priorities. And the third one is, you can call it as the actions related to your goals. For example, you need to reduce some weight. So basically, to reduce someone's weight, what we need to do? We need to do some exercise, or you need to achieve a certain position, you need to study certain things. These are the actions you do related to your goals. So once you have categorized it, you can fit or you can understand where are your priorities and what you can exclude from that. Let me tell you how I managed to bring my wife back to home. See, once your wife once in a while says something, you cannot say no to her. Probably the only one time I say no to my wife is if she comes and say no, then I will say no. That is the only one time I say. So how I prioritized my activities, I told you 10 o'clock meeting, I cannot move out because it's a meeting already set by the client. Second one is a functional assessment. I need to go with the people and have the assessment. I cannot do anything. The third meeting at 12 o'clock, which is actually came to me by my boss. He told me, okay, Jacob, you try to attend this meeting. Then I looked at it. Okay, what is this new energy services? Okay, I told him, okay, I will try to do it. Let me see. This is what I said. Ladies and gentlemen, if anything, any action you think that I will try to do, or it is absolutely not your priority, it never fits into your needs, it never fits into your urgency, it never fits into your goal. You are trying to waste your time on certain things, or maybe you are trying to learn it, but if you can go that one, if it adds to your goals or something. But the real fact is that if anyone's answer is, let me try, it means it is not your priority. So I excluded, I put it as a tentative. I went and picked her up and came back to my home. So what I'm trying to summarize here, if you want to manage your time, first of all, you cannot manage your time as such. You can only manage your actions. To manage your actions, you need to understand your priorities. To understand your priorities, you need to categorize it into needs, priorities or urgent matters, and goals. Once you have all these things set, your time, your actions, you can manage within the allocated time. So PMS is plan, manage, and succeed, not on timeline, it is on your actions. Over to you. Thank you.
Well done, Jacob. Well done. Yes, we have to manage our actions. The only way managing time is such a difficulty for a lot of us. Well, that was brilliant. We will go on to our next evaluator, DTM Sudhakar Padmanabh. I think Satish gave us a few words regarding DTM Sudhakar, and that he's a fantastic singer and he's a superb speaker in the Tamil language. So welcome to our club. Please do give us your evaluation criteria for speaker 2.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the lovely introduction. And thanks to Petrofac Toastmasters for inviting me to be as an evaluator. Today, the speaker is going to present a project from Presentation Mastery Level 2 understanding communication style. The purpose of this project is to learn about different communication styles and identify his primary communication style. He is also going to share the impact of his style to us. The speech can be of any style and not as a report. The timing is going to be 5 to 7 minutes. I hope that you will be having a title. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. We have a speaker who is our VP membership, Toastmaster Hemant Gaur. He is not new to the club at all, and he's even given speeches on the radio. Wow. He's going to talk to us on the 3 tips to crack an interview, right? This is super. We should broadcast this one, so anyone who's looking for a job can listen to it. So Toastmaster Hemant Gaur, 3 tips to crack a job interview. Toastmaster Hemant Gaur.
Good morning. As the car invented by Benz had 3 wheels, success who has 3 wheels, hard work, perseverance, and the third wheel you will discover at the end of this talk. I want interviewer not to surrender during interview. So these 3 tips would help to win the battle and become star. My goodness, I use word star. All the 3 tips will be connected to this wonderful word star. We will now dive into the first tip. Interview is all about to understand where you stand, what capabilities you have. So you will be asked many questions like, tell us something about yourself. Why do you think this position is best suited for you? Why I should select you? Or it can be a question, a technical question. So I will tell, when you answer this type of question, don't jump directly to the answer. Like, I was a president at Toastmaster Club, I won trophy at DTech, or I won the best customer support engineer award, best innovator award. Don't jump into the direct final answer. Start. Use situation, task, action, result. These 4 stages to craft your answer. So now your answer will not be like a table topic 1 minute. It will be a speech for 5 minutes. So we had a situation where client was unhappy with the pace where we were delivering drawings. Client was not happy with quality of our deliverable. We were not achieving sales target. We were not able to increase our customer base. So these are all the situations. I took that responsibility. So now you come into picture. You broke that problem. You understood what are problems in this situation. So you created task. And to execute that task, in management we call PDCA, plan, design, check, act. So you executed that task, which means action you took, the hard work you put, your perseverance, grit. Try to put as much as information during this action. You learn new subject or you develop new skill in shortest duration. And putting this first 3, you got a better result. Your company growth went up by 25%. You didn't surrender to the difficult situation. And that makes you a star. So before going for interview, create a script for yourself. Like at Toastmaster, we write our speech script. You create your script, which will have all the 4 ingredients: situation, task, action, result. Now we will go into the second tip. I know we are on news, we are watching about cricket. Few of our members, they may not be knowing about cricket. Let me explain in simple word. There are 3 rules which a player does: bowling, batting, fielding. These are the 3 actions which a player has to perform in a cricket. It is played in certain country, so you prepare your ground. I would recommend your friends to prepare ground first. So the first question they ask, tell us something about yourself. Try to put all your strength in that first answer. You are creating pitch for yourself. Then you can hit 4 and 6 because you have built rapport. Third, the most important thing, practice, 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 or we call preparation. Nowadays, we go interview online. So make sure you put proper dress, eye contact, smile. These 3 things will work as a magic. Make sure you don't make a silly mistake like keeping your mobile on. Like at Toastmaster meeting, first thing we do, we switch off our mobile. So make sure you have cool, calm environment. You have switched off your mobile. So these basic rules would help you to be focused, presence of mind, and finally not to surrender. Because the interviewee, there are 2 type of persons in the world, which I have from my invention, like my past experience, which I discovered. One who wants to lift you up during interview process, so he will try to help you. And another type of interviewer, he wants to push you down, so he can take you at best salary, which will make his pocket comfortable. So make sure you don't surrender. Let me summarize all the 3 tips which we said today. Answer should be in a form star: situation, task, action, result. Second, prepare your speech. Prepare your pitch, it means you prepare your answer. And the final one, presence of mind. Take care of simple discipline, switch off mobile, cool, calm, and these 3 tips will make you a winner at job interview. All the best. Over to you, Toastmaster Sunita.
Well done, Hemant. Thank you. And hopefully whoever listens to you nail in their jobs as well. So very nicely summarized and put an acronym as well for us to remember.
Sunita,
Our next evaluator. Yes,
Sunita,
sorry.
can I interrupt?
Please do.
Okay. Whoever is not speaking, please switch off the microphone, because it is Hemant was, when giving the speech, it was echoing. It was coming up echo, and maybe the video has to be switched off also, I believe. Maybe, I don't know what is the reason, but Hemant, whenever he was giving the speech, it was coming up, echo is coming up. So please take care.
Thanks, Ritu. Yes, that will make a note, including me. I'll switch off the video if that helps as well. We will go to our 3rd evaluator, who is our Toastmaster Quddus Ahmed, and who will tell us the criteria for his speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Quddus.
Good morning,
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and guest. My speaker today, Satish, Toastmaster Satish Devan. He's a vice president. He's a really helpful guy. You ask him, you get it. So today he will be has prepared a speech for his level 1 visionary communication, and his topic speech is perception, which is the people everywhere. You will see the perception, but maybe right, maybe wrong. Let's listen Satish how he defines it, how the other people looked into it. So I will be looking his speech, and also I will see the previous speech feedback and try to take on board. So thank you, and looking forward. Really valuable speech from Mr. Toastmaster Satish. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kudus. And now we have our final prepared speech for the day from Toastmaster Satish Kumar Devan, and who's quite a dynamic personality, does a lot of the background work to make this meeting happen. So his speech is on perceptions. So Satish Kumar Devan, perceptions, Satish Kumar Devan.
Thank you, Sunita, for the lovely introduction. It is better to be violent if the violence is in your hearts than to put on the cloak of non-violence to cover impotence. I have to say. Strong words these are, quoted at the right time when the nation was fighting for its independence. As the quote speaks about violence, I easily related it to someone who worships violence. That is my natural thought process. So if the option is given to me to identify who could have said it from the great list of Indian freedom fighters, such as Subhash Chandra Bose or Bhagat Singh or Lokmanya Tilak or Mahatma Gandhi, I still wouldn't have found it because I didn't know it when I heard about this sentence. But at least what I would do is I would rule out Gandhiji from this list for the obvious reason. The core message is about violence, and it can't be said by someone who worships ahimsa, the non-violence. That is my perception, and probably some of you here may also agree with my view, and it quickly changes from my perception to our perception. With this prologue, I say my usual Vanakkam, Namaste, and good morning wishes to all the Toastmasters and guests gathered here. So who has said that? Let me say it out once again. It is better to be if it is better to be violent if there is violence is in your hearts than to put on the cloak of non-violence to cover impotence. Interesting view, I would say, again, of being violent and when to be violent and when to be non-violent. As the core idea reflects about being violent, I choose not to select Gandhiji. I surrendered to my perceptions, but looks like I was wrong. Like many already knew here, I can see from the smile on the faces, it is in fact coined by Gandhiji. My perception was wrong here. This has happened to me many a times. Soon I hear or see things, I start a thought process here in my mind that propagates into a delirious and at times what to say, emotional conclusions about the subject. And I think it happens to many of us here, right? Often in our lives, we choose to decide and conclude things based on the ideas that we develop from hearing what others say. We interpret it in a direction our thought process chooses to follow. Let me give you one example, which I found out interestingly in one of my earlier years intervention as a school teacher. A kindergarten teacher chose to use a real life example to teach maths. And she asked an interesting but a simple question to an enthusiastic student. She asked, if I give you one banana add you one more banana, and then I give you one more banana. How many bananas do you have? The student who raised the hand, he suddenly started immediately started counting the code, the fingers. I mean, like all the students who used to do, let's say they count 1, 2, 3, 4, and enthusiastically he replied, 4, madam. Teacher thought, okay, he might not have heard it properly, and so she repeated the same question again. Then answer again came as 4. The teacher was at loss of her words. She thought, okay, this boy may not be liking bananas. Maybe he has some aversions. And she recalled how he liked strawberries the other day when she was teaching about vegetables and fruits. So she decided to repeat the same question, but instead of bananas, she replaced it with strawberries. This time, the boy again counted with his fingers and he said, it's 4, madam. It's 3, madam. Sorry, it's 3, madam. The teacher was like, "Atta boy, now I got you." She finally thought that, okay, this boy is finally coming to his senses. And so let me repeat this question again with bananas. Let me try again. To her surprise, the boy answered 4 again. She became restless. And well, she, like any other, she started thinking whether the boy has any aversion towards bananas that makes him not to think rationally. Or maybe the boy did not understand the max in real world scenarios. But it can't be, right? Because he answered it correctly with strawberries. But then why he answered it wrong with bananas and right with strawberries? And so her thought process flowed towards outlining out or cultivating various scenarios, and so are the realms of her perspectives about why this boy is. She started to think she is different. He is different. I can very much relate myself to this teacher. Often I perceive things spontaneously based on the details I collect. And I think we all are one way or other do the same way. We perceive things in such fashion. Rational and objective thinking is not in a real world situation always. Sometimes our mind chooses to put less efforts and perceive just based on what we see and what we hear. To an extent, it helps in some real world situations also, like not to read in between the lines in an heated argument and further aggravate the situation. And importantly, not to become hysterical when your wife becomes one, and so that you can avoid getting a black eye, so on and so forth. So let me go back to the teacher's dilemma on why that boy answered wrong with bananas. So instead of continuing her perceiving cycle, she surrendered and she asked the boy, why you said 4 with bananas, but the correct answer is 3 only. Why you said 4? To that the boy simply answered, because I already have 1 banana with me. That's why. Simple answer, right? To such a complex perceived analogies of the teacher. But in a way, I guess the teacher must have enjoyed the whole thought process, like the same way we all enjoyed it together now. When we do such a thing, when we do at a later stage also. For what it's worth, it surely made our brain cells tick and led it to explore new things. So my friends, let's enjoy the world of perceptions. Don't bother, don't shy away. Be it good or bad, be it funny or stupid, be it small or large. Such small perceptions only had led to greater discoveries. Remember that. I'm not going to say what to pursue, how to pursue, and how not to pursue. That would defeat the very purpose of it, right? It should be ours and ours own, so that one can turn into an original inspiration that in turn lead to new origins of theories and analogies. Enjoy your perceptions. Thank you all. Over to you, Timur.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you very much. That was a great story. You mentioned about you being a teacher, so I was wondering whether you were a school teacher once upon a time. That's brilliant.
When I was part of a Rotary Club in a few years back, not few years, 10 years back almost. At that time, we used to do some community teaching that time.
That's superb. That's superb. Okay, thank you so much. And now we will have our timers report from TM Prithu to let us know who were qualified for voting. Prithu, would you repeat and unmute your mic, please? Yes, please.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All the speakers are qualified. I can tell you the time taken by each speaker. Jacob John 6.09 minutes. Hemant Kaur just finished 7.29 minutes. And Satish 7.24 minutes. One only thing I want to tell that in the last speech, Satish, either Kubus or you are supposed to tell me what is the time, allocated time, 5 to 7 minutes. Then I went back to the agenda and then saw there. Somebody has to tell me.
It is 5 to 7.
5 to 7. I know it 5 to 7. I saw it in the thing. Somebody has to tell me. So over to you, Sunita.
Thank you, TM Prithu, for those detailed timers report. Next, we will jump into another speeches session, which is our impromptu speeches, where we pull out people and say speak. And that will be conducted by...
Before we go that, I'm putting the voting link.
Are we doing voting?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. Sorry, we will do voting. The link is up. Please click and vote for your best speech. This is only for Toastmasters to vote, so guests, please don't vote. Thank you. Everyone voted. Yes.
I mean, it's only for those, I think, who have Petrofak email, because me, I cannot vote in from other email.
I made it anonymous. I mean, everybody can vote, even outside. Can Michael also having the same trouble? Michael, Deepa?
I have successfully voted.
Ah, good. Okay.
I don't. Maybe from mobile, because I never can. I don't see even where it is.
All right, we sort that out later. Sunita, you continue.
Sure. Okay. All right. So moving on to our next segment for this Toastmasters session, we love is the table topics. And taking us through that is our very own treasurer, the man with the money, TM Sankara Sutapalli. TM Sankara, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunita. Thank you. Yes, today really wonderful sections with Sunita is taking through us very innovative things, which are most interesting things. Back to back, all amazing speakers. Now I'm also fuel up this section, definitely, but with the easiest table topics. I chose that some of the brand names with their tags. I tweaked that sentence and said, and I will call up some persons who are willing to speak. Then you guys can explain yourself what you feel about that if you are real in that particular scenario. Okay, let me share the screen. I hope everyone can able to see that my screen, right? I put that there are 6 numbers. Anyone can choose that one number, then I will press the number, question will be pop up. Okay, the person who has selected the number is supposed to be speak about 1 to 2 minutes about that topic. Okay, who is that first luckiest number? And for luckiest number, please.
Fahim, we want to hear from Fahim.
And for all speakers, please do use the word of the day, surrender. Of course, our prepared speeches, they did use. So for all our table topics session speakers as well.
Shankara, invite Fahim.
Fahim, what is our luckiest number, Fahim?
In table topic session, I don't have any lucky numbers, but I will go with the 2.
2. Okay. Okay. Since diamonds are forever, would you still get a second one in your life?
Good morning, everyone. Such a critical topic when I'm reaching to my 10th anniversary in 2 months' time. Since diamonds are forever, would you still get a second one in my life? In this specific scenario, I'll say no. And I'll give you a few examples. I'm from a very small village. And when I completed my BTech, eventually, like any middle class family, my parents wanted me to get married. So they came out to me and said, look, do you have any girl in mind? I said, sorry, I don't have. In our family, mostly we don't go with the, not a love marriage for sure, especially in our locality, and we go with arranged marriage. But I put a case with my father that, look, the girl with whom I want to marry, who should have certain qualifications, like at least must be a graduate in science or MBA or BTech, or somebody from the medical background. My father said, Fahim, we don't have anybody in our village with such a background, so why don't you check out for yourself? And I made a profile online and I found a girl. But my biggest fear was that how a girl from a metro, that too a daughter of administrative officer, would mingle with my family. And I was so glad the way my wife managed that gap with her nature, the way she take care of the cultures, what we have in our village, the way she understood that what my family wants from her, I think she made me proud. I think she made me realize that we are made for each other. It doesn't matter what cultural differences we are having, that can be always fulfilled with our actions. So certainly, I'm not going for any more diamond and gold because she is the only one in my life. Thank you so much for having this there.
Thank you, Fahim. Who is the next luckiest person to choose the number?
Farida.
Come on, Farida.
Yeah, from 1 to 6, let it be number 5.
Oh, wow. Only everyone is choosing middle only. What would make Disneyland the happiest place on the earth for you? Shall I repeat? Is it okay? You can.
Yeah, repeat, please.
What would make Disneyland the happiest place on the earth for you?
Good morning, dear Toastmasters. What would make Disneyland a happiest place for me? Of course, it is people with whom I will go to Disneyland. Surrounding is one of the most important part. People which are around me. It is the same energy, same families, same energy. And when there is a connection and everyone is happy, it will, any place will be good. Even if it is some village or it is a big city, like now I'm in China, and I heard that in China, in Shanghai, there is a Disneyland. And so far I never visited Disneyland, but to be honest, I would like to go and to watch it and to try all the things. But the important thing is that I don't want to go there alone. I want to go to Disneyland with someone who is important for me. That's why it will be my dream come true double time, like to go there with loved one and at the same time to go to Disneyland and make a lot of beautiful pictures. And after that, I will make stories and share those stories in next table topic. Over to you, Toastmaster Sankara.
Thank you, Varita. Thank you. The next luckiest person who is going to choose.
We have Jatanshu who's raised his hand.
Jatanshu, Kudus, both, yeah.
And Kudus. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Jatanshu. Jatanshu, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you?
Hi, Jatanshu. What is your luckiest number, please? 2 and 5 you already finished.
Can I choose number 6?
Yeah, sure. I believe the ultimate driving mission is not BMW, but Uber. What are your thoughts on that?
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. So my topic is, I believe the ultimate driving machine is not BMW, but Uber. What are your thoughts? I think this is a very valid point, because as we go around the world, it's all about convenience, and that's where I think Uber has been able to support us, and it's the convenience that is the most important thing that makes Uber better than BMW. It's not that we have to go to the company. The company comes to us. That's what makes Uber, as a company that is coming to us as compared to the other way around. So what's the driving machine? So that's what's the driving machine, as in like BMW. We can all buy one BMW, but it's Uber that is providing employment to many of people in the tough time, or has become a source of income for many household. So I think that what makes Uber a better driving machine, an ultimate driving machine as compared to even a BMW. Thank you.
Thank you, Jitanshu. Hi, Kadus.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 1.
Wow. If Red Bull really gave you wings, what would you do?
Toastmaster Sankara and guest there. If Red Bull really gives you wings, what you do? Actually, Red Bull is, again, I'll say, these things are perception. If you take Red Bulls, what it does and what it gives is feeling, is energy, is enthusiasm to move on. So if this gives you energy, you will focus, you will go ahead and you will do it. And this is, say, if you, it's not actually energy which is coming up with that Red Bull. It's basically thinking this gives you energy. So if you get, then you will do the things which you like it. You will go and try the things which you feel they are hard, and once you focus it, you will get succeed. This is where the things are, and people uses them to motivate them to focus and achieve it. So all this all perception, but again, if it is there, you feel it, you use it, and get it. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Gurus. We left only two numbers, 3 and 4.
Ravi has raised his hand.
Hi, Ravi. Good morning, Ravi.
Yes, morning.
Ravi, what is your luckiest number? 3 and 4.
3 and 4. 6 gone?
Rest gone.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with 3.
Tell us about a time when you used Google for an evil purpose.
Good morning, everyone. Tricky question, huh? Maybe I would keep this as a secret to my heart, but you people, maybe you want me to really express the evil purposes?
Yeah.
Dangerous, huh? Okay, so Google is just a search engine. You can use it for your better for the betterment of the society, or the how should I, or you can use it for the evil purposes. It's just up to you. It's just a tool. So sometime back, like in 2010 and 11, I heard about the dark web. So I used to think about it, to understand, and then somehow I developed the habit of the hobby of, learning hacking. So since I didn't have a friend who can directly help me on the on these topics, so I would use Google as a tool, as a search engine to use. First of all, I downloaded the other browser, which is called Tor. This I learned using Google only. Then some ethical hacking websites I used to find out through Google only. So anyway, at the end of the day, I didn't go too much into it, but then this was the I would say it could be evil purpose on also. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you. Guess I left only one number 4. Who is going to take that number 4 to speak?
DTM Shankara. Hello.
Hi. DTM Shankar, can you hear me?
Sudhakar. DTM
Sudhakar.
Sudhakar.
Sorry.
So.
Hi, Sudhakar. Maybe your mic was mute or something.
Muted.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sudhakar. Your question is that if you really had a open happiness, would you get a Coke or alcohol?
Good morning, table topic master and fellow Toastmasters. If I'm really happy, I will share the happiness rather than depending on something else. So first thing I do is I just share that happiness to my well-wishers. It's of course like since I'm married, I'll share that happy news to my wife, and that gives me much more happiness than that of what alcohol or any other drink can give it to me. Secondly, why should I depend on something else when I know that how the happiness has to be, and I don't want any external thing to be kept in a place of happiness. So there are situations wherein we really feel that like no, we are in a bad shape. And do you think that I will again go for alcohol or any other thing to depend on it? No, it doesn't matter what the situations are. I have my people to depend on, and that's where I get my strength. So irrespective of whether it is in a happiness situation or a bad situation, it's all my people who are there for me all the time, and I depend on them, and I am because of them. It's my father, it's my mother who made me to what I am today, and it is what I am today is because of my family, and that's where I think that that's my strength, and I fully give that credit to them. So that irrespective of what the situations are, it's all because of them, and I'm really indebted to whatever they have done to me. The happiness, if it comes, the first persons to share is my family, and rest assured that my whoever is the well wishers will definitely be informed about that also. Thank you. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Sudhakar. Thank you. Guys, I'm concluding this topic. Before I hand it over to the TMOD, I'm requesting that timer to please give us the timer report.
Yeah. Yes. By the way, all are qualified. And I just want to tell the timing also. Fahim took 2.17 minutes. Farida took 1.38 minute, Jatanshu took 1.28 minute, Kudus took 1.44 minute, Ravi took 1.36 minute, Sudhakar took 1.45 minute. Fahim is also qualified because 30 seconds grace period is there. So all are qualified. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you.
We go for voting.
Yeah, requesting Satish to provide the link for voting.
Thank you, Sankara. That was a very nice session of table topics, and the questions were quite hilarious as well. And kudos to all the speakers, and thank you, Prithu, for the accurate timing report. The forms are up. Please do vote. We will wait for a minute or less. All can vote. Okay, if everybody's finished voting, we'll go to the next session, which is a much awaited evaluation session. I think this is a great learning session as well. One of the first sessions which I really enjoyed was the evaluation session. It was very new to me when I joined Toastmasters, and we have some fantabulous evaluators on board. Firstly, our very own Fahim Khan, who is not new to Toastmasters by any means, past president and very actively still involved in Toastmasters. Fahim, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunita. Again, a very good morning to everyone. Toastmaster Jacob, my evaluation will be in two parts. The part one, things which I like the most, and part two, where I felt that you could have done a little different today. So let's start with the part one where you excelled. I love your on-screen presence. You were very much confident, and you have a very good smile throughout of your speech. You had a very good speech organization. The introduction where you said that why time is important, is cash in, and actually it's not time management, it's the action management. And then you gave the three body parts, that how to prioritize on the need basis and how to address the urgent issues. And then again, you reiterated that how we should manage our action at the time. And then again, towards the conclusion, you reiterated the message again. So very well done. Impressive organization of the speech, Toastmaster Jacob. Humor is your strength. Though this topic is a little boring, but you did not forget to bring the flavor of the humor. When you said you say no to your wife only when she asks you to say no. So that brought laughter on many faces here. Since you are a very experienced Toastmaster, I thought of evaluating your speech a little more critically. So please see the next part of evaluation in that context, Toastmaster Jacob. Let me reiterate the objective of the speech. It was member to observe his time management pattern, whereas your speech was around it on one particular day incident, that too on a half day, which ended at 2 o'clock. As per the speech guideline, if you could consider a scenario where you could have a short-term goal which is a little longer than a week, or long-term goal maybe up to you for 6 months or 9 months, and then how did you have a short-term goal, then divided your task accordingly, and how did you follow your timeline, your action, and what are the time management technique you followed, Pomodoro technique or Eisenhower, where you himself use that, where you're talking about the urgent action and the important action. So I think there was an opportunity to include that as well. That would add more value to the audience here by just observing what you did in order to achieve your short-term and long-term goal. Overall, Toastmaster Jacob, it's always pleasure hearing you. It's always great to see how you manage even something like dry topic like time management with the humor. I think by incorporating what recommendation I gave in the part 2, it will add more value to the audience who are hearing us today. All the best for next speech, and I'm looking forward for this. Thank you so much for having me. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fahim. Always useful, your evaluations. And I'm sure Toastmaster Jacob John has taken aboard your comments. For our next evaluator, that will be our Toastmaster Sudhakar Padmanabh. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Please give us your evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Job interview is not just a test of your knowledge, but your ability to use it at the right time, said an anonymous quote. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially Toastmaster Hammond, good morning. Today, Toastmaster Hammond did not give us a speech, but rather he chose to give us an educational session detailing how we can approach job interviews with a structure. Although it is a bit late for many of us, but it is worth to revise our skills and keep ourselves ready, because we never know the situations in this junction. In that note, I would like to say thank you to Toastmaster Hemant. I generally don't use the word thank you in Toastmasters, but today I feel like using that. There are 3 tips which has been said in the job interview. The first one was hard work, presentation as well as action. When you say about the hard work, he clearly stated that we don't have to jump directly into the conclusions. Create a story, bring that situations live, and then take the task, action, and then explain the results. So that clearly demonstrated that how we can build a story rather than going as a question and answer session. For that reason, he has used Toastmasters as a rhetorical device, because in table topics, we just answer to the point. Whereas when you create a speech, we need to create a speech around that. And that's precisely what we need to use. So Toastmasters definitely has taught us many things, and that has been clearly explained by Toastmaster Hemant. And second rhetorical device which he used was cricket as an example to better explain the situations. In fact, for people who don't know cricket, he has explained in very simple steps of 3 steps, and that's very much appreciated, Toastmaster Hemant. And last but not the least, the practice as well as dress code, eye contact, and whatever the Toastmaster elements which we cover in general is been very much covered in your job interview preparation, Toastmaster Hemant. Thank you for that. Going to the betterment of your speech, the first point is the speech was jumping in different directions according to me, because in the job interview, the goal and then the extreme cases, what can happen, all these things has been clubbed right from the beginning of. So I wish that it could have been started with how we can approach the interview alone, rather than going to how they explain the goal as well as the extreme cases. And secondly, the humor part. For example, in the case of cricket, you could have easily said half of the world knows about it because half of the world is definitely filled with Indians. So that kind of humor, if you'd have brought in, probably it could have been eye-catching. And third is this, how this job interview portion has fulfilled the project objectives is a bit of question mark according to me. So I think you can revisit your project objectives in that sense. Having said this, it was a very useful and a calm and composed speech. I really loved that. I request you to look at the project objectives too. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhakar, for the comprehensive evaluation. And I know that Toastmaster Hemant will take on board your comments. And for our last evaluation today, Toastmaster Kudus will give us his evaluation for his third speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Kudus.
It's all about perceptions. All the way, everywhere you go, you feel everybody has its own perception. This is what we listen today. Good morning to Toastmaster, and very good morning to my friend Mr. Toastmaster Satish Devan. Very interesting, very nicely covered, and very well explained. This is all about perception. When you started your speech and you say violence and you name the leaders, nobody in fact thought of it. This violence, the description of the speech has come from Mahatma Gandhi, who whole of his life always talked about non-violence. So this shows the importance. This shows how the people perceive the things when they listen it, and that all makes the things. So you very nicely chosen the topic, try to explain how this works, and very well clarified, and so the people understand, audience involved in it, because it's a very it was like everybody want to know who is this. And when you say Mahatma Gandhi, it's amazing. It's like, oh, is it true? So very nicely linked it up, very nicely presented, and based on your last feedback, I think your voice modulation was commented. You have taken care very well, and it was nicely covered. And when you relate the things, you have linked them very precisely, and your body language, your comfort levelness was really good. When we talk about the violence and relate back to the non-violence, you very well link those things, and your body language was supporting it. So really, it's nice topic, nicely presented, and wish you all the best, and looking forward to listen you the next very nicely composed speech in the next session. Thank you, Toastmaster Satish. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kudus, for your evaluation. I can see Toastmaster Satish was keenly listening to what you were saying. And now we'll go over to TM Prithu for the timers report. And please do tell us who qualified for voting.
Yeah, all are qualified once again. Let me tell you all the detailed timing, what they have taken. Fahim has taken 3 minutes, 5 seconds. He's qualified within the 30 seconds grace period. Sudhakar has taken 3 minutes, 25 seconds. So he's also qualified. He's within the 30-second grace period, and Kudus has taken 2.40 minutes. He's definitely qualified. So we go for voting for all the 3 candidates, all the 3 Toastmasters.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Prithu, for your detailed timers report throughout the whole session. Toastmaster Satish has put the form up for voting. Please do vote for your best evaluator. If everyone's finished voting, we will go to DTM Michael for his grammarian and R counter report. DTM Michael.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sunita. So the objective of the R counter is to listen for the total elimination of unnecessary filler words, expressions, and the impeccable usage of English, which is the language and the medium in which we deliver. How do you do this? All you have to do is run your speech past your coach before you deliver. It might take you an hour to plan your speech and to deliver it, but it takes 5 minutes for your coach to read it and maybe 3 minutes to give you feedback and tips. So if there were 4 cricket players playing today and we counted how many runs they scored, the cricket player by the name of R scored 40 runs. The next cricket player would be the slur, who scored 11 runs. Then there would be the unnecessary pauses or repeats. They scored 4 runs. And the babbles, they scored only 1 run. Now, when it comes to slurs, what you're doing is, as you're thinking and as you're delivering your speech, you're searching for that word or the next sentence in your mind. What you can do is plan your speech and strengthen your framework. Today we heard of things like STAR, the intro, the body, the summary. You can use these frameworks, and when you strengthen your framework, you will not slur or think of the next word and causing you to pause or unnecessarily slur. There were very good examples of where I can point out bad usage of English language. I will give maybe 1 or 2 and you can guess who they were. I am surrendered to my wife. Instead of, you could have used I surrendered to my wife. Then there were also some mentionings of words and names that were not totally aimed at the audience, like Gandichi and Ahamsa, which I thought maybe the audience might have been lost if they didn't know that. But because it's predominantly an Indian audience, I'm sure that everybody identified straight away. But just think of this when you do deliver. Other than that, there are many examples that I can give, and this whole session that I'm delivering now has been an educational piece for me alone, being a DTM, going back to being an R counter and grammarian. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster Sunita.
Thank you, DTM Michael, for putting that into the cricket context and explaining it to us. Next, we will have the Word Master report by Toastmaster Farida. Toastmaster Farida.
Yes, regarding word usage. During today's meeting, I had some issues with internet. That's why I'm not sure if my report is 100% with 100% accuracy. But whatever I heard, I noticed that there are 2 champions which used word surrender the most. And those champions are Toastmaster Satish and the Toastmaster Hemant. You are the champions of today's meeting, of this week, of month, of this year. Thank you a lot. Over to you, Toastmaster Sunita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Farida. Thank you so much. And finally, we will have our General Evaluator report, DTM Deepa Surendran. Over to you. Thank you. DTM Deepa, your mic is on mute.
Yes. Good morning, my dear fellow Toastmasters at Petrofac. and other guests who joined to support the club. I wish all the very best before the meeting. I was supposed to wish all the very best before the meeting, but I couldn't join at that time. Now, when after the meeting, what I feel is like a very well structured meeting, and TMOD has done a fantastic job, and big round of applause to all the efforts. She maintained that the composure, cool, and she was really happy. She was spreading the happiness with her smile, and all the very best for all your future speeches. And one suggestion, now it is only 11 o'clock, and I'm supposed to start my speech at 11:12. So you saved 10 minutes over there. You could have given us some more information about the topic. So that is one suggestion to fill the gaps. Otherwise, but anyway, you're letting us go home early. I mean, to involve in other activities. So that was really good. Thank you very much. Now I would like to ask DTM Sudhagar, why you are not using thank you in Toastmasters meetings? You had mentioned that, so I would like to know, because I'll be using a lot of thank yous in my speech. So if any problem is there, please let me know.
No, I generally take it as we are learning from everybody. So
okay. So you're not thanking for the other person for imparting the knowledge, but
if I give a speech, that means I am the one who should thank rather than the evaluator. Exactly. So yeah, that's how. During the feedbacks, I don't generally say any thanks for anybody, because I am helping him rather than he is helping me. That's how I see it.
Yeah, okay. That's a good approach. But I'll be using a lot of thank you, I think, because that is my nature, because I am learning a lot from all the speakers when we are listening to them. So personally, I think I am benefiting here also. That is the main reason. So other than that, yeah, okay. Now let me go through all the role plays. Okay, now I have a feedback from our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Satish, about the flamboyant start our essay has done, which I missed. She normally, I know Farida, she is a very, what is that? She's a beautiful lady, brilliant brain with beauty with brains. So she always does anything, whatever she does, it is with beauty only. And she has done a wonderful job today also. That is the comment what I got from our VPE. Good round of applause for her also for starting the meeting at 9:31. I'll be trying to look at the recording for that part. And I missed the president's speech. I will watch the closing speech to replace that. Thank you for what is that the opportunity. And the other role plays, I heard our Toastmaster Farida introducing the word of the day, surrender. She did a very what is that, different, unique style. She introduced the word in a unique style. She was asking questions, she made it very interactive, and it was really nice. She got the attention from everybody, and that's why she got many usages of the word as well. Now our Toastmaster Preetu, he was all in all. Normally, Timer is actually a silent role player, but in here in Petrofac, what I notice is Timer is leading actually, along with Toastmaster of the day. He was there, and this is a real good way of I mean, we understood that how active you are in Toastmasters and how much you are enjoying each and every role. Really good job, Toastmaster Preetu. And then now when we go to the accounder and grammarian role, today we are blessed to have a distinguished Toastmaster Michael for doing this job. What he has done when he introduced the role, as well as when he presented the report also, he showed the caliber of DTM. I'm really thankful for him for taking up the role. The way he explained, as our Toastmaster of the day already mentioned, that cricket, and then he made it different. and he ensured that we all listen to him, especially when IPL is going on here. It is a real good way of presenting such a role. One suggestion over here, because I got the total number of the usage of hours, like 49 and slurs, etc. But individually, when I know that how many times I have used the number of hours during my speech, then only it will be really beneficial for me. Otherwise, it is a collective effort. So maybe next time he can try to present it on an individual basis as well. The grammarian role, he said how he suggested that we need to practice to have impeccable usage of English. Amazing. We need to have a plan for the speech. We need to have a preparation for the speech as well. It will take total of 8 minutes as per him. We will do that. Thank you very much. Now, when we look at the three speakers, our first speaker was Toastmaster Jacob John. Brilliant speech, brilliantly evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Fahim. One suggestion, yeah, he was looking, I mean, I felt, because this is a camera trick, I don't know where how you are feeling when you are seeing, when you are looking at me. I don't know how you feel, whether I am looking down at the screen or whether I am looking at you or at your eyes, that I'm not sure. But we need to look at the camera when we are delivering the speech. You delivered a wonderful speech. If you could have, created or establish that eye contact by looking at the camera, that would have been wonderful. And the suggestions given by distinguished Toastmaster Fahim covered it up, everything. It's complete. Now, the speech was really good on managing time. Brilliant. Second speaker, Toastmaster Hemant Gaur, understanding communication style. Well evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Sudhagar again. I would like to know, that question I already asked. He mentioned about transition structuring. As DTM Michael already mentioned, little more of preparation time would have made that particular speech the best one. And then during that preparation, just keep the communication style. This is how confidence Toastmaster attempt interviews. So we can twist the topic in such a way that it complies with the objectives of the speech. That is one thing we have to keep in mind when we are delivering speeches in Toastmasters meeting. Otherwise, it is a brilliant education session. So next time when you are preparing the speech, please try to comply with the objectives of the speech as DTM Sudhagar suggested. Third speech, Toastmaster Satish, perceptions, good, nicely evaluated by our evaluator. There is no much recommendations. I heard the quote for the first time, so I went and I Googled, not for evil purpose for sure, but to understand what the quote is about. And I understood Gandhiji is not actually suggesting us to be violent, but over inaction, violence is better. So I don't have to change the perception of Gandhiji equal to non-violence or ahimsa. So, but a very good speech, which gave us a very good understanding about perceptions. Good job done, Toastmaster Satish. Now our Toastmaster Shankara. I think I'm correct pronouncing it correctly, Toastmaster Shankara, because this is the first time, second time I'm visiting Petrofac. Many of the members' names are very new to me. So our table topic master did a brilliant job by, presenting the table topic session in an innovative manner. He wanted to show that I'm not biased to the table topic speakers at all. You choose your number. You are getting your option or topic. He did a wonderful job in preparing this topics also, taglines. Brilliant. Now our established speaker, DTM Fahim, and he used that opportunity to impress his wife. that is what brilliance. That is the only one thing he can say. I hope his wife heard what he spoke. Very good. What to say? My God, I am really praying to have that kinds of a presence of mind when we are getting topics where we can impress our partners. Then Toastmaster Farida, as usual, what would make Disneyland? She mentioned, yeah, I will take photos, blah, 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 blah. Nice one. Maybe she could have, add little more expressions when she is, showing, because all her stories and the photos are getting so much of likes from the entire world. Maybe she could enjoy that more. Now, third speaker, Jadanshu, I believe the ultimate device. Of course, BMW or Uber, because Uber is coming to us. Good thought. Then Kudus, right? I don't know how to pronounce Kudus. Yes. Red Bull really gave you wings. I will fly. What else to do? He mentioned that. He would have mentioned that. But anyway, his perception was different. Good job. Again, it is double topic speeches. Again, a speech as it is 3 minutes or 1 minute, whatever it is. We need to have a proper opening of this opening and then proper closing, and then the body has to be elaborated. It has to give some idea. So all the double topic speakers, we need to have this 3 parts for the speech. Let's remember that when we are attempting the TT next time. This is what is giving us preparation for our next performance evaluation at HR. Then Toastmaster Ravi, he was walking around, he was taking us through his room and talking about explaining how he used his Google for evil purpose. Then Sudhakar, ATM Sudhakar, yes, alcohol or Coke. He just mentioned about his wife. I'm sure DTM would have heard that, his wife would have heard that, and she's happy now. Then, yeah, I mentioned about our Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster, Michael already. He did a wonderful job. One more time, let me congratulate our Toastmaster of the day, Sunita, for all the preparations. And you have made our day, and you have instilled the energy required for preparing for the next Toastmasters meeting. Also, I wish all the very best to all the Toastmasters over here, especially to Petrofac Toastmasters. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Deepa. Thank you very much for that comprehensive report. Noted on the timing, I made a mistake actually in the agenda timing while calculating, so didn't get the calculations right. I just noticed it during the meeting, and I'm sure everybody enjoyed all the evaluations, how you've given it to them. And we appreciate your presence here, and please do continue to join us for our meetings. And finally, to conclude, okay, before we move, we will have the best role player voting, and then I will conclude. So the form is up. Satish has put it. Please do vote. Only Toastmasters can vote. Oh, all can vote, Satish. Okay, all can vote. Everybody, please vote. And then I will conclude. Okay, hopefully you have
Best role player.
finished.
TMOD is not a role player?
Yeah, I mean, we took that decision very recently. Earlier we used to count them, but in the recent meetings we are excluding TMOD, other role players.
All right, okay.
Actually, this is every time the TMOD gets the best. That's
Oh,
Yeah. If you put TMOD, then Sunita will win all the time.
Every time the TMOD gets the best.
We'll win hands down.
TMOD.
We're giving opportunity for the other silent role players also.
Okay, okay. Because she has done the best job and then.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to start blushing now. All right. So
you know, Sunita, when we do have the winner, you know that will really not be the real winner. The real
no, that's not true.
Exactly. DTM Michael mentioned it, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so while you continue to vote, I will just conclude on this. We'll look at one more invention and then I'll pass on the baton to, we looked at automobiles. So just next one. The final one is the computer. We love our computers, not because we have to do work on it for 9-10 hours a day, but because if computers were not there, we'd all be doing those calculations manually. So what was there before the computer? Humans, there were human computers. So people did the calculations and then they had logged those calculations. Then people who came after that looked up all those logged calculations and then used that as a reference to do their, solve their problems. But the first computer, now does a computer look like that? No way. What is that? That was invented by Charles Babbage in the year 1822. So that is a steam-driven. When I read about it, I was like, steam-driven calculating machine. Now that computes a table of numbers. You remember the 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, of those tables of numbers we used to memorize. So he created this analytical engine, and this was a failure. But the people didn't close the books and surrender and say, oh, well, let's just throw that out. No, all the calculations that he had made, the annotations over the years, which during his time of research, was useful for the people who came after him to invent the computer, which was useful, which was done by William Thomson in the year 1872, who invented the first analog computer. This, of course, performed complex calculations and also predicted the times in a given place, which is great. From then till now, computers have advanced and we use them every day. I don't see our working days without computers. In conclusion, we saw many inventions today, and there are many more, much more than what we saw today, which have made our lives better, and we are thankful for the inventors and their inventions and the people who have modernized those inventions and brought them a long way. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the session. And over to you, our president. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our sparkling Toastmaster of the day. So today we have winners. Until we announce the winners, I would like to announce that the team OD for next meeting will be our immediate past presidents, Toastmaster Nakul Gupta. Please confirm and get your speaking slot booked. And I would like to thank all the coaches and all the support from areas. Please grab the opportunities, deliver your speech, get coaches and mentors. The amount of support our club is getting is tremendous. I've never seen it throughout the life of the club. We're getting a lot of enough supports, and I would like to thank our debates who took the challenge and they come forward and they raised our Petrofac Toastmaster Club flag yesterday, and they could score a lot. Is there? And even they didn't pass, but they have done very good. Is there? See, if you're attending our Toastmaster meetings, even as a listener, this couple of hours every couple of weeks, it will make a difference. A few weeks back, I was traveling to another country. I visited another club and they asked me for a radio interview. All the people who listen me there, from friends and from classmates and all, they're saying, you've been improved a lot. What is the secret? I say, there's no secret. I'm only attending Toastmasters regularly. If I cannot take a rule, at least I will listen. I will learn passively from this. Toastmasters, now it's a time to announce the winners. So the best speaker is Ta-da, the best speaker is Toastmaster Hemant Gore. He's the best speaker today who enlightened us with his 3 points and 3 ideas. And then the next topic speaker, he is Toastmaster Fahim, and he win. Then the best evaluator is our guest Toastmaster Sudhakaran, and he win this silver par. Save silver, the prize going up now. And then the best role player, any guesses? Our grammarian, our heart, and our coach who's putting us on the path. Congratulations to DTM, Michael Smith. We are honored that you are with us. Thank you all, and I wish that one day we could arrange one hybrid meeting and we can meet some of you in the future. Thank you all. We can have now the group photo.
Can we have it on gallery mode? As I'm only able to see a few.
Yeah, adjust it in the actions section, gallery.
It is, but I've got Mohammed in the main frame.
Try to put large gallery.
Correct, large gallery. Very nice. Okay. All right, everyone. Look at the screen, the camera, the little dot with the little light in the computer. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, let's see how that comes. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Right. Did that come out fine? Yes. All can see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Can you give a
Welcome back, Farida. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Farida.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thanks, DTM Deepa, for attending our meeting today. It's always a pleasure having your feedback.
Yes. And thank you, Sudhakar. You